Hello everyone, my name is Winters and welcome back to another episode of Star Trek Online Do's and Don'ts. In this episode we are going to talk about the radiation minigame. For the purposes of this video I have come to the fleet colony because it has a radiation minigame available for harvesting batteries. And as you can see here I have the option to start playing that minigame now by this message here that says collect batteries. So you will come across this game, this mini game, in a number of places. The radiation mini game will be available, well, obviously here at the colony, but also through a number of story missions as well. Usually takes about a minute and isn't very difficult. But there are some do's and don'ts in relation to playing the mini game. Now, the way it works here at the colony, the higher your score, the more provisions you get. And you can get a maximum of 250 provisions per hour. Now, what I mean by that is, let's say you get 150. All right, you get a score that gives you 150 provisions. You will be able to play the mini game once more and be able to collect the remaining 100 provisions for a grand total of 250, and that can be done once per hour. Now, I'm going to start the mini game here. So, as always, we're going to start off with the don'ts. And the don'ts are basically don't use the mouse to align the mini game like I'm doing here. What you want to do is you want to use the arrow keys on your keyboard like I've just switched to there. And you will get much higher scores and build up your points a hell of a lot quicker as well. Using the arrow keys, you can do it, but it's one of those things. So here's the thing about it: if you're going using the mouse, you have to constantly look at the buttons in order to make sure you're hitting the button properly and you're not hitting the wrong button. I'm talking about the button UI in the game, not the mouse button. Whereas if you use the keyboards, the arrow keys on your keyboard, you don't have to look at the arrow keys to make your decisions, because you should be able to feel your way around without having to look. Now, as you can see there, I just got a score of 520, and sure enough, it gives me 150 provisions. Well, how about that? But as you can see here, collect batteries is available again. So I'm going to start the minigame again. And this time, we're going to do the minigame all the way through with the arrow keys. And we should end up with a much higher score. But we only need a score high enough in order to get 100 provisions to reach the goal of 250. Now, the colony is unique in the way it works, letting you play the minigame until you get 250 provisions. Normally, if you come across it in a story mission or somewhere like that, it lasts for a minute, and that's basically the end of it. You know, like once you're done, you're done. I will say that this particular minigame here at the colony, you need a score at or above 900 in order to qualify for the 250 provisions in a single go. See there, I got 895. I was so close. But I got the extra 100 provisions, and as you can see, the mission battery charging unavailable. It is not available again for another hour. So, this is a pretty short episode. The do's and don'ts are: don't use the mouse to click the buttons to move the minigame. Use the arrow keys on your keyboard, and you will get much better and higher scores for doing it that way, and it's much easier because, as I said, if you have to be looking where the mouse is, then you're not looking at the mini game as it's moving downward, because you're looking down where the mouse is. Am I over a button? Am I not over a button? Am I over the right button or not over the right button? Whereas if you use the arrow keys, you don't have to look down at the keyboard, because you can just place your fingers on the arrow keys, and you can instantly make your adjustments, and as you've seen there, get a much higher score. So those are the do's and don'ts for the radiation minigame. Anyway, we're going to leave it there for now. Thanks a million for watching, folks. I hope you all enjoyed this episode. If you did, please leave a like. That would help me out enormously. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them below. And as always, please subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. My name is Winters, and I'll catch you next time. So until then, adios.